Okay, I'm here to I'm going to do another video, and it's on, it's the extreme cold weather parkas. Now I know it's summertime, the last thing everybody's thinking about is coats, but it's never too early to think about cold weather gear. Now I have two different ones here, and that's kind of what I'm going to do is comparison, because some people may be looking at these, you know, there's a lot of videos out there on each of these really. I've already done one on this one over here. So there's a lot of information out there, but maybe this might help somebody make a decision on which one to buy and kind of what they're going for. They're really, because this is the Gen 1 extreme cold weather parka. This is the Gen 6 extreme cold weather parka, but it's really a shell. And so you got two different things, but they're two totally different, systems. But first of all, we'll go off by this one. All right. Both are Gore-Tex. That's what they have in common. They're both Gore-Tex, Gore-Tex lined. Now, what's different about this? This one has a hood that does not roll up into the collar. I mean, you can roll it down a little bit, but it's also got this little visor right here, keep the rain off you and things like that, which is pretty cool. I bought this one used. For $5 at a resale shop. It's in fantastic condition. The only thing I found wrong with it, it's got a little hole right here, which I can easily sew that up. That's no big deal. But other than that, there's nothing else wrong with it. This one's got the double flap right here. YKK zippers. These are both military issues also. But it has YKK zippers, strong zippers down the middle. And on this one, before we go too much farther, this one does have a hood, but it rolls up. And it's Gore-Tex as well. And it's got a little hook and loop back here so you can adjust it to your head size and helmet size, because both of them are pretty large hoods, but they're made for helmets. This one does not have the hook and loop to adjust the size, but this one really helps out if you don't wear a helmet. Of course, you're just wearing a hat. You can adjust it to your head. This one has two storm flaps too, basically, but it's Velcroed. And this one is not, it's just button. But it has a little flap in there. It's also got YKK zippers. You can see this one's gray on the inside, and it is the military issue. This is the Operation, the OCP multicam. It's that stands for Operational Camouflage Pattern. Now, all right, and so this one's a little bit, like I said, this one's pretty much the shell, so it's a little bit thinner. Now we go back over to this one. The differences then on it is that it's actually a little bit thicker. I mean, this is a thicker jacket. And you can see it's got the Gore-Tex, and seam tapes are in there. It says Gore-Tex. And this is actual military issue too, as well as that. And this one has a storm flap that you can tighten up between these, and button it there to tighten, make sure it stays that way. So it's keep the wind off you, keep the snow out of you. But this one doesn't have one of those. Like I said, this is mostly the shell. The other thing about this jacket, before we go further, this one on the sleeves underneath does not have the breathable area right here. It opens up into your jacket. It can cool you off if you're getting too hot without having to take off your jacket. Sorry I'm sweating, it's very hot here. It's about 102 or 103 degrees with the heat index. And like I said, it's never too late to talk about cold weather gear, because it will be upon us before long. Alright, now this is what one of the main differences is this has no pockets. This has no outside pockets, or inside pockets for that matter, whatsoever. That just goes in if you're wearing a fleece jacket or your combat military, you know, BDUs and things like that. You can access your pocket into it easily. You can actually access, you know, and that's like that on both sides. But other than that, there is no other pockets. That's one thing I do not like about this one, is there's no outside pockets. However, it does have reinforced sleeves right here from the elbow down, in case you're in a crouching position, you know, because you wear it for fighting or whatever, or just hunting. This one feels like it does, a little bit reinforced there, but it feels the same material. And this one does have an outside pocket on the sleeve. It's just Velcroed, little pocket. And it has two pockets right here, which are pretty good sized pockets. So on the outside, they both have the insignia. This one's a button, insignia rank holder, and this is Velcroed. Pocket on this side right here. So. And that's it for those. There's really not much, you know. Both of them have the Velcroed adjustable wrist area for your sleeves. Both have these right here where you can tighten them. This has got just shot cord though. This is not. This is made in from Tenier Industries. And this is actually made in Tenier Industries as well. Here's the tag of the OCP one. I know people like to look at the tags. And here's the tag. It's been issued. You can even see the guy's name on it. It says Cisco. But there's the tag on this one. If you look closely, both of them are Tenier Industries. So there you go. Both of them are made in the same factory. And Tenier Industries makes a lot of military gear. You know, if you have the extreme cold weather sleeping bag system, go and look on the tags and things. It's most likely made there. The ones I have are made there as well. And the Gore-Tex bivy and all that. Now, maybe that'll kind of give you a little bit of a help with deciding which one you want. This one, what I like about it though, is that since it's thin, this thing rolls up very, very small. And you can even cinch that down in a little stuff sack if you wanted to. And it's very lightweight, and you can even use this in the summertime if you wanted to as a rain jacket just by itself. Now I bought this one brand new. I paid $125 for this I bought it on eBay, and it was 125 bucks, but it had the tags on it and everything. I like to buy brand new stuff when I can, and I had the money at the time, and I was like, why not? I know you can get them a little bit cheaper, even without the tags. They sell them a little cheaper and stuff, and used cheaper. But I wanted a brand new one and put my own wear and tear on it. Like I said, I saw this one at a resale shop. It was $4.99. This is like $5.27 or something after tax. Couldn't beat it. Excellent condition. I wore it at the tail end of winter a couple of times when it was kind of cool out, and it worked well, very well. And I wore this one all through last winter, and I use it. Of course, it's, you know, with this stuff you layer it. You got to, you know, you have your base layers and things like that. And one of the layers I use is just a regular old military liner, coat liner. I've had this one for a long time. It's actually quite older. It was old when I got it, you know, but it's real soft, it's real comfortable. I have a couple of these, I have a couple of new ones too, and I layer them in there because everybody knows that layering is the key to keep warm. You don't just wear a big old coat and think you're going to be warm. You got to layer. So what I usually do is I'll put this inside. What I'll do is I have a fleece zip-up liner that it's not a military one, but it's a Polartec or something like that, and I'll put it in there, and then I'll put this on there because it's actually really soft. So, and I wear short sleeve shirts a lot of times, and it's really soft. So this is really soft on that, and the fleece liner on the inside is really soft too. But I'll layer it with, you know, that. And if it's extremely cold, I'll put two of these in with the fleece underneath that. Now this, like I said, is a little bit thicker. It's basically, it's probably, this jacket is probably 3 times as heavy as this one over here, and it's also thicker. However, you can roll it up and get it pretty small, but I like the features on this one better, personally. You know, I like the features on this one. It's got the pockets on the outside because I didn't have pockets on that one on the outside, so I'd have to stick them in my pants pocket if my hands were cold because I wasn't wearing gloves. On this one, if I'm not wearing gloves or anything, or I want to carry anything in my pocket, then I can and get to it easily. Because, you know, my fleece and things like that, that I wear underneath there, doesn't have a shoulder or a chest pocket to reach into with the pockets that are on this one. However, I really like multi-camo. I like woodland camo as well. They both work great, and it just kind of gives you, I'm just trying to give you an idea of, like, if anybody's looking at getting these jackets, which one might work best for them. You can buy both of them relatively cheap online. They'll both be fantastic. Just, you know, with this one you're going to have to layer more, but this one has more options for use. Like I said, in the summertime, if you're going to go camping or packing, you know, backpacking somewhere or something, and it starts to downpour on you, you can just pull that out and throw it on just by itself. Since it's so thin, you're not going to get really overheated by it or anything like that, especially if it's a cool rain. Like I said, this one right here is a thicker jacket. It's more, you know, made for heavier use just alone by itself, you know. So it actually is a thicker material because it is thicker. It is a heavier material. This stuff is real thin, and that's, you know, they both work fantastically well. Like I said, I wore this all through last winter, and with my liners in it, I was fantastically warm. Rain beads right off of it. I wore this out in the rain once. Rain beads right off of it. It's fantastic. Like I said, I do like the features on this one better. I wish some of the features on this one were on this one, and some, you know, and maybe some of the newer ones that come out, they'll have some of those additional features. Now I know you can buy, these are both military issue, so, you know, they're not proper or true spec or anything. Now I know both of those companies have these types of coats, and I do believe that they offer this similar type of one with pockets on the outside and things like that, so, which is pretty cool. But I like real military gear because, for one thing, it is built bomb-proof. It is tough. I mean, it can tear, you can rip it, you can do things like that to it, but it's built good, it's built tough. Everything, I haven't had any issues with any one of them falling apart, tape coming apart, anything like that. So, you know, but I like military gear because it's just built excellent. So I hope that helps out a little bit. If you have any questions, just you can just message me in the comments and I'll reply. So thanks for watching.